We've got an amazing team of Torah helpers here. A little bit of housekeeping for later in the service. Today, I believe, we'll talk to our B'nai Mitzvah family for next week just to check with them, but I believe this week will be the last week that we'll sing Hatikva at the end of the service when it's not a specific celebration for Israel. I know it's been an important part of the service for a lot of people, and so I want to quote one person from that survey about why Hatikva has been an important part of the service to them. And they didn't write their name, so if it's someone in the room, thank you. Hatikva is more than just the Israeli national anthem. It's an expression of Jewish peoplehood and pride and an eternal connection to Zion. So thank you for singing it together for these past couple of years, and I look forward to honoring Israel in all of the other ways that we do and will continue to do in the future. Now, this past Monday, Rabbi Feivel and I drove to Tyler State Park to enjoy a day of hiking and sitting out by the lake. Even in the heat of July, in the shade of the trees, we marveled at the shapes trees grow into in order to best capture sunlight. We laughed at the sight of beetles running around connected together because, who knew, July is peak beetle mating season. For just a few hours, away from the sounds of traffic and machines, we were able to breathe a little more easily. We were able to set the intention of our week with a balanced sense of calm and awe. Although we read from Parashat Matot today, this week's Parsha is actually a double portion that ends with Matot-Masei, a lengthy list of the Israelites' many travels. As they study Matot-Masei, our sages of old ask, wouldn't it just be enough to say that the Israelites traveled? End of story. Why do we need this long list? The medieval Italian commentator Sforno answers that this list is a symbol of the great merit of the people Israel as they willingly trek Be'eretz Lo Zruah, a land largely untouched by human hands, walking beside God the whole way. God knows that both journeying and camping can be rough. The wilderness offers so many unknowns. Because of their willingness to enter uncharted lands to experience the great outdoors, God showcases how deserving the Israelites are to enter a land that they get to chart themselves. No matter what time of year, no matter what neighborhood we live in, or what sort of movement our bodies and transportation allow, each and every one of us has the opportunity to trek Be'eretz Lo Zruah and to reap its benefits. As Men's Club breakfast speaker Amy Martin writes in her book, Wild DFW, our nature is not over there in remote wilderness. It is here, hidden among the rivers and the creeks, tucked away on the fringes of reservoirs, on rocky hilltops or floodplains, wherever development was unfeasible, but also in your yard, if you invite it in. I am certainly guilty of complaining about DFW's lack of access to the great outdoors. And yet, our brief trip to the not-so-far-off land of Tyler, Texas, reminded me how easy and fulfilling it is to simply step outside. I have to say, too, when I taught this last night, I gained a long list of places to visit just within a short walking distance, and I'm looking forward to hearing more so that I can stop complaining about that lack of access. At Congregation Beth Torah, we find ourselves in a community with so many who take advantage of the outdoors through daily walks, through gardening, through camping trips. Through outdoor activities, we learn to live in the unexpected. We get sunburns, bee stings, bug bites, we strain our muscles, and sometimes worse, just to experience the beauty of God's creation. We know the potential reward, the beauty that comes when we step outside of our comfort zone and into the outdoors. Outside, when we see the intricate constructions of the ants, or when we see the speed at which hawks dive, we rediscover our humanity and our humility. when we run that 1 mile further than yesterday, or climb a peak despite our fear of heights, or even make something grow with our own 2 hands, or admire the wind on our skin when we sit outside or open a window, we rediscover our confidence in this body in which we were created. Every time we take a risk and go outside, we gain the potential for learning, for joy, and for awe. For all those wondering where to turn for your next outdoor adventure, knowing the people who are in this room now, you might simply just ask the person sitting next to you at your kiddush table today. Or, we learned this week, you can make your way through the Texas State Parks website. There is so much within just a short drive. Closer to home, even closer to home, Amy Martin suggests simply stepping outside your home after dark with an ultraviolet light, listening and looking for moths, bats, and other creatures that only come out at night. Often, gazing outside through a window can mean so much. Just a couple of weeks ago, throughout 2 days of Batei Din for Jewish affirmation and conversion that we at Beth Torah were privileged to coordinate, all those present got to spend hours watching an enormous hawk hunting on the Tiferet Israel playground. On the second day, we got to see the whole spectrum of life literally in one fell swoop. For those moments in which the awe that we see or feel outside is vaster than any words that we can conjure, our Jewish tradition actually provides us with words, with blessings for wonder. We have prescribed words for seeing the ocean for a first time in the month, for seeing a rainbow, hearing thunder, seeing lightning, smelling fragrant plants, seeing unusual animals, and seeing a tree blossom for the first time in a year. Out in that hallway, I've printed these blessings for you to take home and bring with you the next time you explore, or even just have dinner outside. For now, I invite you to reflect on the last time that you enjoyed your stay in nature, whether in your backyard or on a trail somewhere nearby, or even backpacking in far-off lands. So think back to the motivation, the reset, or just that momentary pause the moment gave you, and I invite you to repeat after me the blessing for seeing something remarkable in nature. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shekacha lo be'olamo. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of time and space, who has created such things in God's world. Shabbat shalom.